Hey everyone, real quick, if you're interested in booking private lessons with me, you can contact me through my website at breenmusiclessons.com, link in the description and the pinned comment. All right, so this song is basically in B minor with a little bit of a Dorian flavor added in. We start with some double stops in what would be position 1 of B minor pentatonic. 7th fret on the G and the B string. Adding a little decoration, my pinky goes to the 10th fret on the B string. And then right before I move position, my ring finger drops to the 9th fret on the G string. And then I slide up to now my ring finger's on 11 of the G string. My middle finger comes in quickly and drops to the 10th fret on the B string. And my first finger is now on the 9th fret, voicing the high E string. That's basically giving me an F sharp minor sound. And now my pinky is doing decorations on the 12th fret of the high E string. Next. This to me is voicing the Dorian color in the progression. This would be a shell or a fragment of an E major chord, which is the 4 chord in a B Dorian sound. So my ring finger is on 9 of the G string, my pinky is on 9 of the B string, my first finger is on 7 of the high E string. Pinky moves over to the 10th fret B string, back, and then my pinky comes off for a second and comes right back down. So for a brief moment, my first finger has to hold that position. So I want to be in a bar position with my first finger for basically all of these shapes because of the moving around that I'm doing with my pinky and or my third finger occasionally. Next phrase. Middle finger is now on 11 of the G string, third finger is on 12 of the B string, and my first finger is on the 10th fret voicing the high E string. Decoration now, pinky's dropping to the 12th fret on the high E string. And then my ring finger drops to the 12th fret on the high E string. And again, this is why I want my first finger to bar, because it can take over now this additional interval that's being thrown in, now on the 10th fret of the B string, because of that bar. It also frees up my pinky to do a decoration up here, a little bit of a stretch, 14 on the high E string. Move up here. Now I'm going to be basically doing an inversion of an E major sound. Middle finger on the 13, 12 on the B string, 12 on the high E string. Decoration there on the ring finger going to the 14th fret high E string. And then my pinky does a little back and forth going on the 15th fret B string, coming off and then going down again. And you're basically hearing these two intervals back and forth. Next up, we're doing some double stops and kind of a more pentatonic feel for a second. So I'm going to be 11 on the G string, 10 on the B string. Coming in with a little bit of slide. This sounds very bluesy. Nine, 7, 9, double stops between the G and the B string. Little vibrato you can kind of hear on the 9. Back to 7 and 9. And then I think he also emphasizes a double stop between the B and the high E string. That's what it sounds like, at least to me. So. Back to those double stops, 9 to 7, and then more into single note playing. 9 to 7 on the D string as a pull-off. 9 on the A string. 7 hammering onto 9 on the D string. And then I pick it again once I get there. 7, 9, 7. 9 to 7 on the A string. 5 to 7 on the A string. Last last part is a cool sequence idea in the box 1 minor pentatonic. All right, so I'm pulling off from 10 to 7 on the high E string. Same thing on the B string. So I pick the beginning of each string. 10 to 7 as a pull off again on the B string. 9 on the G string. Back to 7 on the B string. 9 to 7 as a pull off on the G string, and then I end up on 9 of the D string. So we have this so far. Roll back to the 9th fret G string and do another pull off. And then another 9 to 7 pull off on the D string. Now when I get to the D string, I do a double pick on the 9 before I pull off to the 7th fret. So this is what we have so far. So I have a single pull off from 9 to 7 on the D string, and then when the next sequence starts, or the next iteration of the sequence starts, that is when I do the double pick on the 9th fret on the D string before I do a pull off. 9 on the A string, back to 7 on the D. 9 to 7 as a pull off on the A string, sliding to 5th fret. Back to 7 on the A string, and then I pick it again and do a half step bend, like a bluesy bend. Back to 5 on the A, 7 on the E string, and then a quick hammer on between 5 and 7 on the A string. Next, a grace note slide from 7 to 9 on the A string. Highlighting a Dorian sound right here, I have 6th fret on the D string. Pick and then pick with a quick grace note hammer on to the 9th fret, to the 7th fret. Back to 6. 9 on the A string. And then with my middle finger, I slide from 7 to 9 on the D string. Pick it a few times in sync with the rhythm, and then I end it on the 9th fret and I give it a little vibrato. So here's the whole final piece with the pentatonic sequence.